Hello, folks. Welcome in. Thank you for being here. My name's Nettie, and I'm bringing you nonstop information, news, and edutainment. That's right. So I want to thank you guys again for being here. Folks, I have a lot to talk about today. A lot. And, I want to open this with saying that your government hates you. That's right. If you're in the United States of America, like I am, again, your government hates you. And some of you might be like, are you serious? Are you serious, Nettie? How could you make such a statement? Yeah, I'm saying it. Your government hates you. And here's why. We've got the Shady Pines resident in the United States of America's White House, all right, who is, getting ready for his weekend at Bernie's, who doesn't know shit from Shinola, and is wreaking havoc on everything from our borders, both southern and northern, the price of gas, the price of groceries, the cost of utilities, to allowing terrorists into our nation, to importing your replacements, to allowing criminals to roam free. Free pass. Free pass. Come on. Do what you do. We support you. To arresting and wanting to lock up, in prison, praying grandmothers. Praying grandmothers. We have a problem. Houston, we have a problem. I want to first go to the city of Memphis, Tennessee. All right. Memphis has a very serious problem. Let's get into it. Hang tight. I'm going to play a clip for you guys. Okay, folks, here we go.
Approximately 2 a.m., officers responded to a suspicious vehicle call at Horn Lake Road in Charter Avenue. When officers approached the vehicle, they were fired upon by the occupants inside. Officers then returned fire. At that time, the suspect...
So wait a minute, you guys. You heard that. Officers investigating a suspicious vehicle approached the vehicle, and the occupants of the vehicle start doing what? They start firing at the police. To which, for every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. The police, or as we say in the hood, police shoot back.
Took off, and MPD officers pursued the vehicle for a short distance, where the vehicle stopped in the area of the 400 block of Hewlett Road. The two suspects were apprehended at that time. One suspect was taken into custody immediately. One fled the scene and was located nearby. A total of 3 officers were struck by gunfire. Tragically, one of our officers lost his life. That officer is Joseph McKinney. He was assigned to the range station, Alpha Shift. The second officer was brought here to Regional 1, but thankfully, he has been upgraded to non-critical condition and he's doing well. The third officer was treated on the scene and is in stable condition. One suspect was 18 years old, and the other suspect is 17 years old.
18-year-old and a 17-year-old. I don't know about you guys, but at 17 and 18, pulling a firearm and utilizing that to shoot at police was not something in my playbook. It was not something I was thinking about. You know, we have to take this a step further and go back to the parents and who raised or didn't raise these two.
Both suspects were transported to Regional 1 in critical condition. Both of them sustained gunfire as well. One suspect has been pronounced deceased. The 18-year-old suspect was arrested in March 2024 by MPD in a stolen vehicle with an illegal modified semi-automatic weapon with a Glock switch attached. The Glock switch converted the weapon to a fully automatic machine gun. He was also charged at that time for 2 stolen vehicles and having a programming device commonly used to steal cars. The suspect was released at that time without bond.
Okay, folks. I don't know about you. I don't know about you, but my blood is boiling. It is now April of 2024. And you heard her say that one of the suspects was released in March of 2024. And they were released after having a firearm that they modified basically to be a machine gun, and they had equipment to help them steal cars. But yet they were just let back onto the street. Just like that, they were let back onto the street. What do you think about that? What are your thoughts about that? Does that sound like you have a government that is looking out for the people's best interests? It doesn't sound that way to me, folks. You see, we have right now, what we are witnessing is a system to wreak havoc and chaos throughout America, and especially in the urban areas, and especially in the blue Democrat controlled cities. That's right. That's right. Your government, our government hates us because allowing someone who's already been in a stolen vehicle, already had a firearm that they have modified to be as dead. I don't even know if you could say the word. DEADLY as possible. And then here, 1 month later, possibly a few weeks later, because we don't know when in March they were taken into custody. Just a few weeks later, here we go. What happens? They're shooting up, deleting a police officer, and causing serious bodily injury to the others. You can't make this stuff up. This is not by accident, folks. This is a system right down from the Shady Pines resident in the White House, okay, to the other politicians, to the Soros-funded district attorneys, attorney generals, etc., etc., etc. Now what you're seeing is the system that they put in place manifesting and wreaking havoc on the rest of us. Next story I want to talk to you about, so you can just get a picture. We're going to paint the picture today of how your government hates you. Hold tight. Every man, woman, and child, Americans, we need to be up in arms about these open borders. Both the southern and the northern border are wide the fuck open. Okay? All types of chaos causing agents are coming across that border. A country without borders that does not protect their borders is very, very unsecure. We don't know who these people are. We don't know what types of backgrounds they have. We don't know where their mindset is. We don't know what gang or cartel or terrorist organizations they're members of. We don't know what crimes they've committed in their home countries. We do know they don't have a job. We do know that our government is taking care of them while Americans are struggling under high gas costs, high inflation. We do know that. And yet, the Shady Pines resident of the USA's own White House is fine with it. He and the people who are really pulling his strings, because God knows he barely knows he's alive unless he gets some ice cream. He and others are helping to destroy this great country. And we should all be pissed off about it. All right. Now I'm going to play a clip for you guys that illustrates how dangerous our open borders are. Hold tight.
Tonight, an alarming development in the border crisis. Among the record number of migrants crossing the southern border was a member of an Afghan terror organization who was released into the U.S. by border agents, according to U.S. officials. 48-year-old Mohammed Harwin illegally crossed into California in March of last year. His name is on a U.S. terror watch list, identifying him as a member of HIG, a terror group that's killed Americans in Afghanistan. Border agents suspected he was...
Wait a minute. Did you all hear that? This dude who came across the border is part of a terror organization that has what? It's already known to have deleted Americans. Okay, here we go.
Was on the watch list at the time of his apprehension, but lacked corroborating information, according to U.S. officials. CBP released him without contacting the FBI or Immigration and Customs Enforcement, those officials told us. Harwin was allowed to apply for work authorization.
Y'all heard that, right? All of these agencies are keeping information from the others about a terror suspect. And then we give him, hey, come on, work. Come on, work.
And board planes in the U.S., according to those officials. After almost a year, ICE arrested him here in San Antonio. When he went to court, U.S. officials tell us, ICE officials withheld classified information about his terrorism ties. A judge ordered him released on $12,000 bond, which he posted and was freed last month.
Folks, you've been set up. You are being set up. Okay? So he had $12,000 bond and he was able to post that no problem. Huh? If some of you out there right now, all right, will have a hard time posting the $12,000 bond. I mean, you let me know. He's from another country. He's on the terror suspect watch list. He comes in here. He's able to traverse these United States. One government agency is keeping information from the others. Your government is working to delete and replace you. I hate to tell you. And it doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter what color you are. It doesn't matter what ethnic group you are. Your government, our government, hates you.
Harwin's case appears to be just one of at least 3 incidents in the past 2 years involving suspected terrorists being released by Customs and Border Protection, according to the DHS Inspector General and Congress. It comes as President Biden faces fierce criticism of his handling of the border crisis, including from former President Trump.
Many terrorists, many drug dealers at the highest level, they're all coming into our country.
Did President Trump lie? Did he lie? So there have been at least 3 incidents that they are aware of. Can you imagine? Can you imagine how many they are not aware of? I bet it's a heck of a whole lot more than 3, you all. Let's just go back to this right here. Let's put this guy on the screen. They cut the clip where he had to put his hand on one of the border patrol just to walk. This guy right here. I want you guys to remember that this man right here, Joseph Robinette Biden, he's at the head, folks. This is what you want. This is what you like. All right. We're going to go on to the next topic. Hold tight. Now, I know some of you guys have heard about Dexter Reed. All right. Dexter Reed. He is a young man in Chicago. Chicago is always in the news, folks. It's always going to be in the news. Why? Because it's messed up. All right. Staunchly controlled Democrat city, county, Crook County, also known as Cook County, and state Democrat run. They run that town. They run that state. And you will forever hear about bad news and bad behavior and some legitimate bad folks coming out of that city, state, and county, because it's perpetuated, it's encouraged. And we're going to talk about this person right here. His name is Dexter Reed. And what the left wants to do is really create the new George Floyd. They need something going into the November election to rile up the people, a la AKA style, Jesse Jackson style, Al Sharpton style. They got to ruffle the racial feathers and help put us into our own little identity politics boxes so that we can all be mad at each other so that they can steal the whole damn country. And they want to use Dexter Reed and his life and deletion of it for us to get mad at each other. I wouldn't be surprised if they try to have 8 funerals, 9 funerals for this dude and make a gold statue. But I'm not getting riled up over Dexter Reed. I'm not getting riled up over him because the police did a traffic stop and he started shooting at the police first. Now, you tell me, folks, what do you think will happen if you start shooting at the police? What do you think is going to happen? For every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. They shot him up. Okay? Should they have done that? I would say yes. Because those policemen are going to defend themselves. Yeah, they're going to defend themselves. And I cannot blame them, because if you shoot at me, what am I to do, folks? What am I to do? Now, I want to show you something else. Before I continue, folks, let me just ask you, please, James Brown style, smash that like button, hit that share button, and since you're here, baby, go ahead and subscribe. All right? What does that do? That helps get the message out, right? We have a country to save. And it's going to take average American citizens, because that's what I am. I am an average American wife and mom who is fed up. I am fed up with the bologna, and it's not even a fried bologna sandwich, that is going on in this country. Each of us can make a difference. Each of us. There are too many of us for them to lock all of us up. So we have to start making noise. And when I see that you guys like and share and subscribe, it gives me the courage to keep putting these videos out there. Yes, it does. And furthermore, if you enjoy this content, because it takes time to do it. Please hit the Cash App, baby. $ I am Nettie. N-E-T as in Tom, T as in Tom, I appreciate you. Those who give and those who cannot give. I appreciate you. Now, back to our regularly scheduled programming, okay? Now, Dexter Reed has a mom, okay? And I don't know who can take it. Now, y'all, I love my wigs, okay? I love them. And you will see me switch up my hair, but you will never, ever, ever, ever see me put something like this on my head, okay? This is a clown show right here. This is a clown show. And let's hear her talk, y'all. Let's hear her talk.
He had just bought his new car 3 days before that. And he was just riding around in his car. He said, Mom, going for a ride. And they killed him. They killed him. He had just bought his new car.
All right, folks. You know, I understand that his mom has pain, right? I understand that. But he shot at the police first, lady. He shot at the police first. Is this what you taught him? Is this what you taught him? Because apparently your parenting was lacking. Your parenting was lacking. Now, let's also see what the mayor of Chicago had to say. Hold tight. Okay, folks, so I'm about to play what Brandon Johnson, the robot, okay, that's how I see him, as the Chicago Teachers Union robot in Chicago, has to say about the passing of Dexter Reed. All right, let's take a listen.
As mayor and as a father raising a family, including 2 Black boys on the west side of Chicago, I'm personally devastated to see yet another young Black man lose his life during an interaction with the police. My heart breaks for the family of Dexter Reed.
You know what, folks? It's amazing to me. It's amazing. Oh, you guys didn't see it. Let me play it again so y'all can see his face. Oh my goodness, y'all gotta see this. Let me play this again so you can see it.
As mayor and as a father raising a family, including 2 Black boys on the west side of Chicago, I'm personally devastated to see yet another young Black man lose his life during an interaction with the police. My heart breaks for the family of Dexter Reed.
You know what, folks? What's really tripped out is that Brandon Johnson, he needs to tune up on his acting skills, okay? The big gulp that he took, right? The little waver in his voice. You know, he acts like he wants to cry. But tell me this, Brandon Johnson. Tell me this. Why does your heart break so much for Dexter Reed, who fired first at the police and then they returned fire? And it does not break for all of the young Black people and old Black people who have been deleted in the city of Chicago this year. And mostly by other Black people. Does that break your heart? No. You're here on camera, probably got your orders from on high filtered from the Shady Pines resident down to the CTU, who is the new gang over there in town in Chicago. Hey, Brandon, we need some momentum. We're losing Black people going into this November election. We know we lost a significant portion of Black men before. We're losing a significant portion of Black women now. Nobody's buying the fried bologna. Nobody's buying the fried bologna sandwich, Brandon. So we need you to get out there. Similar to the George Floyd incident, and stoke the racial feathers of fear. We need you to put the Black folks back in the identity politics box, Brandon. Get out there. We're giving you good money in that mayoral spot, Brandon, that you're really not qualified for. You really can't handle and don't really know what to do. So you're going to get your freakish haircut self out there and say what we tell you to say, Brandon. Yeah. So yes, folks, yes. Your government hates you. They hate you. Yes, they do. And we have to get out of the identity politics boxes. We got to bust through them. I want to show you something next. All right. This is happening in Montana. Montana. That's right. I said Montana. Okay. And it's happening to, believe it or not, the Native Americans. This is what they are experiencing in Montana under crooked Shady Pines resident of the United States White House, Joseph Robinette Biden. Here we go.
And one thing that we really seem to overlook all the time is the threats, the death threats we get from the cartel members. We had the tribal leader from Montana.
Wait a minute. Did y'all hear that? This is a Native American President Stiff Arm in Montana talking about deletion threats from the cartel. Now, if you think this is not coming to your town, to your neck of the woods, you're sadly mistaken. Let's go.
That declined to testify here today because he received death threats that he was going to testify. Why would we be afraid to live in our own country when we're getting threats from foreign nationals from across the border? How strong their reach is, how they're allowed to come into this country and to threaten and kill us in our own backyard. That's a huge issue, not only for our tribal membership, whether it's here or Fort Peck or Rocky Boy, but it's in your all's backyard. It's your family, your relatives, your neighbors. Well, in Fort Belknap, we have what little officers we do have. They have been trying to be proactive without any help from the BIA, without any help from the FBI, without any help from the Border Patrol.
Wait a minute. Did y'all hear that? They are not getting any help from governmental agencies, from the FBI and others. They're not getting any help. So we have the cartels coming in and ruling over Americans, Native Americans, in fact, in Montana.
Or the DEA. And we receive grant money. We have 2 drug dogs, 2 canines that are trying to help us curb the flow of fentanyl, methamphetamines. And we have some pretty good.
Let me ask you guys, Have any of you or any of your family and friends been touched by fentanyl?
Seizures. We one of our biggest issues is we don't have jurisdiction over.
Mr. President Stiffarm, I'm sorry to cut you off, but I'm on limited time here, but you said something very profound that I just want to make sure and get it on the record, that you testify before Congress that there are tribal members who have been threatened with death if they come to Congress and testify against the cartels. The cartels have threatened them with
Yes.
death in this
Yes.
country.
Yes.
My goodness, that might be enough just to end the hearing right there. That's horrible.
That is horrible. That's beyond horrible. That's reprehensible. Folks, I don't know what more puzzle pieces you need to understand that your government, the current administration, hates you, that they are working against you. That they have a system in place that's not being publicized to you to really undermine the American people. And it doesn't matter whether you're Native American, whether you're a Black American, whether you're a white American, whether you're a Latin American, Asian American, Indian American. It does not matter. They have an unspoken rule, unspoken system in place to allow the cartel to run free and wreak havoc in our country, to allow criminals to run free and wreak havoc in our country, to allow terror suspects to run free and wreak havoc in our country, to allow politicians like Robot Brandon Johnson to foment ruffle the racial feathers in this country, to get all of us fighting and looking over here while they're still in the country over there. Your government hates you. Okay, I got one more thing I want to show you guys. Okay, folks, so the next thing that I like to show you, my free thinking crew. This is the free thinking crew. I want to thank you to all of my new subscribers, all right? Here in this house, we use our brains to think critically, okay? So what I want to show you next is this young lady right here, all right? Her name, I'm going to say her name, is Rebecca Lavrens. She's 71 years old, and she went to the Capitol, okay, in DC on J6. And for going to the Capitol, spending all of 10 minutes, 10 documented minutes in the Capitol building, which is really the people's house. We pay for it. Guess what she is facing, you guys? They are threatening, planning, plotting to put her in prison for 1 year. And she also faces over $200,000 in fines. Now, I don't know about y'all, that incenses me. She went to the Capitol on J6 to pray for our nation, to pray for President Trump, to pray for healing. Because many believe that our nation is going in the wrong direction. So she went there to pray. She went through the Capitol building, passed through it all of 10 minutes, and she's facing 1 year in prison and over $200,000 in fines. Now, I want you to contrast that. Also, I might add, she's a business owner in Colorado. She owns a bed and breakfast, which means she employs people, which means that she's contributing to the tax base and to the good of our nation. Small businesses help make America go around. So contrast the picture here of Miss Rebecca Lavrins and what I just showed you previously. In Memphis, where the two young people, 17 and 18, shoot the cops, and they had previously been let out, at least one of them, in March. And they had a modified firearm that really they turned into a machine gun, and they had the apparatus for, or the tools that they use to steal cars. They just slap on the wrist, let back out. The terror suspect, who belongs to a known terror organization that has deleted Americans, just allowed into this country to traverse this land, and governmental agencies not cooperating or not even spilling the beans on who he really is to each other. Contrast that with Dexter Reed in Chicago, who shot the cops first and they shoot back. And now we have people like Robot Brandon Johnson wanting to get the racial feathers fluffed up and get us all into a George Floyd type tizzy. Contrast that with the cartels coming over and bullying and threatening to delete Native Americans in Montana because they want to get their fentanyl through, et cetera, et cetera. Contrast all of that, folks, to this lady right here, Miss Rebecca, who went to the Capitol to pray. And the Biden administration wants to put her behind bars and make her pay $200,000 over. I submit to you that your government, the current administration, hates you. And it doesn't matter. It does not matter whether you're Black, whether you're Native American, whether you're white, whether you're Latin, Asian, Indian, Americans. It's time out. It's time out for the differences. It's time out. You guys, we got a country to save. This is real. It makes me fear for my children, for one day when I have grandchildren, and for one day when I have great-grandchildren. Will this country be the country it was when I grew up? Hey, if you like what I'm talking about, you can hit the Cash App. You can free thinking crew, okay, free thinking crew, please smash the like button. Smash the like button. That's right. I cannot tell you how hard it is. I mean, it's easy for me to get on camera, but these topics are hard to talk about. Not because I have difficulty with the subject matter, because it's just revolutionary to talk about this under the current political climate. So I really appreciate each and every one of you who do smash the like button, hit the share button, who subscribe, because I'm just an average American wife and mom. Till next time, folks. Take care.